What's the super senior secret to stopping and even reversing muscle loss at any age? Imagine turning 80 and suddenly discovering that half the strength you took for granted as a young man is gone. It's not science fiction, it's called sarcopenia, a slow loss of muscle fibers that silently affects millions of people. More than 50 million people over 60 around the world suffer its effects every day, and more than 300,000 seniors end up in the hospital every year due to falls caused by muscles too weak to maintain balance. Yet there is one piece of data that radically changes the scenario. The Journal of Physiology has shown that the decline is not written in stone. Men and women in their 70s, and even 85, have been measured with the same strength, agility, and look as much younger people. Meanwhile, their peers struggled to get up from a chair or climb a flight of stairs without help. What separates these two groups? 7 daily habits. The amazing news is that 93% of seniors have no idea what they are. Even more amazing, most doctors don't even mention them, if at all. And so, day after day, millions of people make a simple mistake. We'll see in a moment that accelerates the loss of lean body mass, sabotaging years of self-sufficiency. Ironically, sarcopenia can be measured with simple tests: a bioimpedance test, a dynamometer for grip strength, a few functional tests such as the sit-to-stand. Yet only 12% of patients over 65 receive a routine screening. Many doctors, squeezed between outpatient times and still not very binding guidelines, focus on cholesterol and blood sugar, neglecting muscle mass. Including the muscle checkup in the annual health assessment would cost little and would offer objective data to personalize diet, exercise, and supplementation before the decline becomes clinical. If you want to avoid that fate, or if you want to help a parent, a grandparent, a friend, watch until the end. You'll learn how super seniors not only stop muscle erosion, they reverse it, remaining strong enough to hike mountains, play tennis, or pick up grandchildren without hesitation. Before you discover how to reverse muscle loss and stay strong at any age, remember to subscribe to our channel, like it, and activate the bell. Practical and scientific advice awaits you to live every stage of life to the fullest. Staying strong isn't just about biceps. It means being able to travel, drive a car, take care of a grandchild, tend a garden without fear of falling. Geriatricians talk about functional longevity. Not how many years we will live, but how we will live them. Focusing your day on small physical and mental challenges is the fastest way to transform the concept of old age from a phase of decline to a season of opportunity. Sarcopenia can steal strength and freedom as discreetly as time passes. But just when the temptation to shrug and say it's just age that's advancing seems like the only answer, research offers us another way: small daily gestures, simple to include in the routine, capable of turning off that slow wear and tear and, indeed, making the muscles flourish again. It's like having 7 keys in your pocket. Just choose one to open the door to a more stable and secure future. So, let's discover step by step what these 7 strength-saving habits are that super elderly people practice, often without even realizing it, and that from today can become yours too. Habit number 7. Good stress that rejuvenates you. When we think about aging, we usually blame time. Year after year, we lose vigor. But what if the real culprit were chronic comfort? Humans evolved in hostile environments, alternating heat, cold, famine, and sudden demands for strength. Today, constant temperatures, abundant food, and inviting sofas deprive us of those microstimuli that paradoxically train our cells to stay young. Scientists call these stimuli hormetic stress. Brief, targeted, and completely manageable stimuli that, Instead of damaging, enhance. Concrete examples. Cold showers. A final 30 to 60 seconds of ice water increases adiponectin, a hormone that preserves muscle tissue. Sauna. Visiting it several times a week reduces muscle loss by about 40% in older adults, according to a Finnish study. Intermittent fasting. Compressing meals into an 8 to 10 hour window improved muscle cell function by 10% in just 12 weeks, with no weight loss. Isometric contractions. Pushing or pulling against a still surface for 5 to 10 seconds triggers growth signals similar to a full gym session, with minimal stress on the joints. The secret is moderation. Too much stress for too long has the opposite effect. But a well-planned dose of discomfort awakens longevity genes and shields your muscles. Many seniors snub it because it is extreme, but in reality, a minute a day is enough to reap the benefits. Habit number 6. The right timing for protein. You already know that proteins are the building blocks of muscles. What you may not know is that after the age of 60, the body becomes less efficient at transforming them into new fiber. Scientists talk about anabolic resistance. Eating proteins at random is no longer enough. The typical mistake? Poor breakfast, coffee and biscuits, light lunch, and a single large portion of meat in the evening. Too bad that the muscles can only use the amino acids within a window of about 3 to 4 hours after the meal. If the dose arrives all at once, much of it is wasted. The solution? Spread out your protein intake. 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This means starting the day with eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or a protein shake. For lunch and dinner, alternate fish, lean meats, legumes, tofu, and low-fat cheeses. In a University of Texas study, older adults who simply sprinkled the same protein across 3 meals gained over a pound of muscle in 12 weeks without changing their workouts or calories. Bonus: more stable blood sugar, greater satiety, and a clearer mind. Not all proteins are equally good for muscle. The literature identifies leucine, an essential amino acid, as the trigger of protein synthesis. About 2.5 g per meal are needed to cross the anabolic threshold. Sources such as aged Parmesan, fermented soy, and whey quickly reach this level. Pairing them with less leucine-dense plant sources balances the fiber and antioxidant intake, obtaining the best cocktail for lean mass and microbiota. Habit number 5. Vitamin D, the nutrient that maintains strength. When we talk about vitamin D, we immediately think of bones, but muscles, in reality, depend on it in the same way. The fibers have specific receptors that, without enough sunshine vitamin, do not function properly. Yet over 80% of people over 60 are deficient. As you age, your skin produces up to 50% less vitamin D from sunlight. The guidelines suggest 600 IU per day, but more recent literature suggests 2,000–4,000 IU, especially if you don't get daily sun or don't consume fatty fish, fortified milk, or egg yolks. But be careful. Without vitamin K2, natto, aged cheeses, pastured eggs, liver, vitamin D pushes calcium into the arteries instead of bones and muscles. Easy fix: a blood test to check levels. Target: greater than or equal to 40 mg/ml, a D3 plus K2 supplement if needed, a 15 to 20 minute walk in the sun. Dermatologists point out that skin synthesis of vitamin D peaks when the body's shadow is shorter than height, in Italy between 11 U and 14 U. Just 15 minutes with exposed forearms and calves, without sunscreen but also without a wool hat, is enough to produce up to 10,000 IU, except for very dark skin or highly polluted areas. Those who fear spots can apply the cream only after targeted exposure, protecting the face and hands from photo-induced aging without sacrificing hormone production. Habit number 4. The silent inflammation that eats away your muscles. You don't need a swollen joint to talk about inflammation. There is low-intensity, continuous inflammation that doesn't hurt, but slowly burns your muscle capital. Scientists call it inflammaging. Aging. Poor sleep, constant stress, intestinal dysbiosis, or pro-inflammatory foods keep a fire burning that consumes tissues. A Tufts University study found that older adults with elevated inflammatory markers lost muscle mass 3 times faster than their cooler peers, even with the same amount of protein and physical activity. How do super elderly people put out flames? 1. Quality sleep. Go to bed and wake up at regular times. Keep the room dark and avoid screens. Sleep hygiene alone can reduce inflammatory cytokines by 40%. 2. Happy gut. 30 types of vegetables a week, plus fermented foods, yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, feed the good bacteria that produce anti-inflammatory substances. 3. Balanced workouts. Daily walks, some short but intense sessions. Too much daily HIIT has the opposite effect. 4. Anti-inflammatory nutrients. Omega-3, 2-3 g per day. Turmeric, berry polyphenols, green tea, extra virgin olive oil. 5. Small changes at home that make a big difference. Strength is important, but safety in the home is just as important. Check the rugs. If they slip, secure them with non-slip tape or remove them. Clear the walkways. No shoes, cables, or objects scattered on the floor. In the bathroom, install a grab bar near the shower or tub. It costs little but offers a stable grip. Choose shoes with well-gripped soles even indoors, instead of worn-out slippers. Finally, keep a battery-powered nightlight in the hallway. If you wake up in the dark, the way to the bathroom will be clearly visible, and you will greatly reduce the risk of falls. These are simple details to fix in an afternoon, but they protect your independence every single day. Being alone for a long time can be almost as bad for your body as eating too many sweets. Scientists have seen that, in people over 70 with little social contact, some inflammatory substances increase in the blood. The good news is that dedicating 10 minutes a day to a little guided meditation or simple breathing exercises reduces these substances by about a quarter in 2 months. It works even better if, in addition to meditation, you indulge in moments of company, a dance class, a choir, a sewing workshop, or any volunteer activity. Being with others releases oxytocin, known as the good mood hormone, which helps the body to relax and turn off stress. In practice, a few minutes of mental calm, plus some time with friends or family, are a simple recipe for keeping inflammation low and the desire to live high. Habit number 3. Micronutrients, the little big heroes of muscles. Proteins, carbohydrates, fats. These are the main actors. But without a cast of expert technicians, vitamins and minerals, the show is not on. Over 70% of over 60s are deficient in some key micronutrient. Magnesium, involved in 300 energy reactions. Mild deficiency reduces grip strength by 30%. Top sources: green leafy vegetables, seeds, nuts, legumes, and a square of dark chocolate. Creatine. It's not just for bodybuilders. 3.5 grams per day boosts strength and memory in older adults, especially when combined with weight training. Vitamin B12. Absorption decreases with age and with drugs such as metformin or PPIs. Choose the methylcobalamin form, crucial for nerves and metabolism. Trace minerals: zinc for muscle repair, selenium against oxidative stress, chromium for insulin sensitivity. The rule: don't guess. Ask your doctor for a complete panel Fill in the gaps with real food and targeted supplements. No handfuls of random pills. Supplementing magnesium without adequate vitamin B6 limits its intestinal absorption. Taking iron away from coffee triples its bioavailability. Small details, big differences. The same Tufts research cited above observed that a smart supplementation, studied on the individual food diary, preserves 22% more lean mass over 5 years compared to those who take generic multivitamins. Habit number 2. Brain connections that maintain strength. Weak muscle? Often the problem is not in the muscle, but in the electrical cable that connects it to the control unit. After 60, the welding of the nervous system begins to give way unless you keep them active with targeted stimuli. The strategies of the super elderly. 1. Train coordination. Tai Chi, dance, ping pong, tennis. Movements that require precision and timing preserve neuromuscular junctions 31% more than weights alone or on a stationary bike. 2. Nourish the nerves. Alpha-lipoic acid, acetyl L-carnitine, active B1 vitamins, benfotiamine, and phytoderivatives, such as huperzia, support acetylcholine, the spark that lights up the muscles. 3. Stimulate the vagus nerve. Just do the square exhalation. Inhale 4 seconds, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4, for 5 minutes a day. The parasympathetic response increases by 15%, refining motor control. 4. Mental challenges. Puzzles, new languages, musical instruments. Those who engage their minds also maintain better muscle-brain connections, Columbia University shows. Remember, if your nerve grip slips, even the best protein program won't save you. Easy cross exercises to wake up your body and mind. Try these 2 movements, suitable even if you haven't, number 39T, been active for a while. Seated opposite hand-knee touch. Sit on the edge of the chair. Raise your right knee and touch it with your left hand. Return your foot to the ground and repeat on the other side. Continue slowly for 30 seconds. March in place with hand-knee touch. Stand up, stay close to the chair for safety. Lift your right knee and touch it with your left hand. Change leg and hand. Go at your own pace for another 30 seconds. These crossover movements work both sides of the brain and body together, improving balance, alertness, and coordination. Do the mini circuit once a day. It takes less than 2 minutes and requires no equipment. Habit number 1. Progressive resistance training, the anti-aging medicine. Here is the habit that, by itself, makes the difference between an 80-year-old who climbs and one who depends on a walker. It is not a supplement, nor a magic wand. It is weights, or rather, a method called progressive overload. From our 30th birthday onwards, we lose 3 to 8% of muscle mass per decade, a rate that accelerates after 60. Walking is great for the heart, but it is not enough to maintain the fast fibers responsible for strength and balance. You need to put your muscles under increasing challenge. The 4 golden principles. 1. Controlled intensity. 2 30-minute sessions per week are enough. The goal is to get close to technical failure, not to lift more at all costs. 2. Multi-joint movements. Squats, or simple stand up and sit from a chair. Wall push-ups, rows with bands, hip bends, exercises that replicate real life. 3. Tracking. A notebook is enough. Gradually increase. An extra rep, a harder band, 10 more seconds under tension. 4. Slow eccentric phase. Lowering the weight in 3 to 4 seconds creates more muscle stimulation with less joint stress. Perfect for those with vintage knees or shoulders. In an experimental study from the University of Alabama, 70-year-olds who started from scratch gained over 3 lbs of muscle and plotted 35% strength in 12 weeks. Positive side effects: thicker bones, more stable blood sugar, sharper memory. The real danger is not hurting yourself with weights, but not using them at all. Sarcopenia is unforgiving. 30-day gentle program to safely strengthen yourself. For the next 30 days, we will follow a step-by-step program designed for those who have not done gymnastics for a while. All you need is a stable chair, a free wall, and, from the 3rd week, 2 small bottles of water. Remember to breathe fluidly and stop immediately if you feel severe pain. Week 1 and Week 2, 2 sessions per week. Start with 3 easy exercises. 1. Stand up and sit down. Position yourself on the edge of the chair. Plant your feet firmly on the floor and lift yourself up until you are standing. Then sit back down with control. Do 8 repetitions without rushing. 2. Wall push-ups. Place your palms against the wall at chest height. Slowly bend your elbows towards your torso, then push them back up until they are straight. Do 8 push-ups. 3. Towel pull-up. While sitting, grasp both ends of a towel. The other person, or your own foot if you are alone, provides light resistance. Pull toward you to work your arms and back. Complete 8 pull-ups. After each exercise, rest for about a minute, drink a sip of water, and move on to the next. Working out alone can seem boring. Seeking company makes everything easier. Try involving a neighbor, a nephew, or a friend. Set up 2 regular appointments a week, even just for a walk or to do chair exercises together. If you live far away, use the phone or a video call to work out in sync. Seeing and talking to each other keeps your spirits up and reduces the temptation to skip the session. Celebrate small milestones. Write down on a piece of paper the number of lifts completed or the extra minutes of walking. Stick the sheet on the refrigerator and reread your progress every evening. Remember that every step, however small, is a brick towards a more independent life. The goal is not to become champions, but to feel confident and alive in every daily gesture. Your next step. 7 habits, 7 scientifically validated levers to transform the aging process from a downhill race to a climb to the top. You don't have to adopt them all tomorrow morning. Choose just one concrete action. Add 30 grams of protein to your breakfast. End the shower with a cold jet for 1 minute. Book your vitamin D test. Do 10 seconds of isometric push-ups against the wall. Sit down and get up from your chair 10 times in a row at a slow pace. Do it with intention. Write down the sensations. After a week, add the second piece. Every day is an investment in the future, you. The one who, at 80, walks along the seashore with a confident step, dances at a wedding, or lifts the suitcase onto the overhead rack of the airplane without asking for help. And now it's your turn. Which habit surprised you the most? Are you already following one without knowing it? Do you know someone who, at 70, is stronger than many 30-year-olds? Leave it in the comments. Your story could inspire others to build their next chapter of vitality. And if you found this information useful, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with those you want to see strong and happy, today and in the years to come. Your new strength starts now.